What's up, guys? Good morning. I don't really know how I'm going to start one of these things without sounding awkward, but thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the thumbs up on the videos. Really appreciate it. This video comes basically from an idea one of my subscribers had. Shout out to you. Shout out, I believe it was Campos Vasquez. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Suggested on one of my videos as a comment to have a breakdown of what has been done to the car before and as it sits, and future plans. Thought it would be a good video. I'm also going to throw in the cost because a lot of people like to see how other people spend their money on YouTube. We'll start with the history of the car. Basically, a year and a half ago, I wanted to go and get a two-seater convertible Sunday driver, something rare, something affordable, and ended up being an MR2. Now the problem is when you want to go rare and affordable, usually it's not affordable if it's rare, and if it is, there's something wrong with it. I was lucky enough to stumble. I was looking for like a year, man. Every day on Craigslist, I was scrolling through between Maine and Georgia, primarily in the southern states, looking for an MR2 with not a lot of rust and etc. So, trying to keep the story quick, but there's a lot to it. So, I stumbled across one in the Bronx in New York, and at first I'm hesitant because it could be a rust issue. It's a 2-hour drive from where I'm located in southern Pennsylvania. Take the drive up there, check the car out. From a block away, I'm pulling up, and it's beautiful. I mean, it still is. It's a gorgeous car. The test drive. So after looking at everything, the test drive didn't go so well. Every time we stopped at a stop sign or a stoplight or whatever, it would idle down and shut off. So I immediately knew there was something wrong with the motor. There was an issue with idling, something. So we drove it back to the starting location where we first met, and I got out, popped the hood, and messed with the throttle cable, and it would high rev, and when it would come down, it would die. And at that point, I noticed too there was a little bit of smoking coming from like the manifold area, the headers, and there's a little bit of oil coming out of the blow-off valve too. So it wasn't running right, and the guy wanted, I believe it was $7,500 firm, and I'm not one to offer you $3 in a pack of gum. If you wanted $7,500 firm, that's it. And I wasn't going to do that. I was going to walk away. Told me to throw him an offer, even though I wasn't going to offer him near what he wanted. And I was thinking 5. I told him 45, and he took it. And I'm pretty sure he took it because life circumstances is what he told me, and he needed to get rid of it to make some money. And the fact that it's already wide body, which is what I wanted, if I was just going to get an MR2 and figure out, a way to make it wide body because that's what I wanted. It's like a $4,000, job to me in my eyes because the kit is like $1,000. You have it put on and professionally done and painted. It'll run you up there. So I end up paying $4,500 for the car. That was for the whole car. Now, on the drive home, so going through New York, I already have anxiety to begin with because I don't like driving in the city. And the car was not driving properly at all. I was just trying to limp it home, and I ended up getting on 78, about an hour and a half into the drive. I have a half hour left to get home, and come across 2 Beamers coming from a show in Jersey, and trying to keep up with them messing around. And it almost caught on fire. I started smoking a lot. I had to pull over to the side of the road. I ended up having to jump in the other car that we went to New York with, to run to a gas station to grab 2 quarts of oil because it was 2 quarts low at the time, and I'm lucky the car did not catch seriously on fire because there was oil everywhere. Ended up driving it to the location where I was going to keep the car stored until I could figure out what was going on. Later find out that it was only running on 3 cylinders, but it is what it is. I got the MR2 for $4,500 with a blown motor. So if you want to look at it, man, I got the car for basically free because I had an Evo 8 that I sold for 10 G's and bought my daily, which is a 2005 Nissan Altima, for $5,500. The remaining money left over, $4,500, I used to buy this car. So you can look at it, I got for free. It was a trade. I spent $4,500, whatever. After that, it sat for about a week, and I was in contact with a company called Prime MR2 at the time. Now I believe they're called Prime Driven. Really smart guys. They specialize in MR2s. There's only 2 places I know in the United States that I would take my car to, and one is in Tennessee. I forget the name of that company. I want to say I don't even want to say TCS Motorsports or something. and the other one just happens to be 40 minutes away in Jersey. And it all worked out great. Told him the issue. He wanted a whole bunch of pictures. I sent a whole bunch of pictures. Ended up willing to take on that because I believe they were really busy at the time. They still took the car, took my motor out. They put another Gen 2 3SGT motor in there with an upgraded turbo kit that they don't even make anymore. It was worth $3,500. Did everything for me within like a week and a half for $5,500. And I have like a laundry list of stuff they did also. You can see, I mean, it's all that. And mainly it's fluids, spark plugs, and little things here and there, but 3071R turbo kit. And yeah, the motor's from a 93 JDM with 45,000 miles on it. The car only has 130,000 miles on the body also. But anyways, they did all that, and it has been running great ever since. So after I got the car back, I believe that same day, I took it to my buddy Ben in Quakertown. Clear Vibrations that does sound systems. I put a touchscreen head unit in with upgraded door speakers, and I would suggest him to anybody, man. I mean, 20 years in the business, knows what he's doing, and I got all that stuff done and some other things for like $500. So, after that, so we're with $4,500 for the car, $5,500 for the motor swap, and $500 for audio. I bought a steering wheel from Valente, I believe the name is. Again, I butcher all these names, and I apologize, but I believe they're a new company, and the steering wheel kind of looks like a Grip Royal steering wheel. I got it in white so I could hydro dip it in myself, and you can see in one of my past videos of me hydro dipping it myself with spray paint and paint splatter. It was a pretty interesting experiment, and yeah, it's unique, one of a kind, and that's what I'm all about, so there's that. The reason being is because the steering wheel that was in it was nice. It's actually, it was hanging up, it's up there on the shelf somewhere. I don't know if you can see that, but you can basically fold the steering wheel in half. And in that episode, my wife takes the steering wheel and basically folds it in half. So that needed to be replaced. I don't know if I said the steering wheel was $150. The flares were $600. The wheels, my favorite all-time wheels, man. Work Emotion CR2P wheels. The front specs, again, are 18 by 10.5 minus 7. And the rears are 19 by 11.5 minus 36. The wheels with shipping and valve stems were $2,850. That's the price you pay for real wheels. But they are one of a kind. Nobody else has them. Well, the wheel itself, plenty of people have them, but not the exact size that I have, especially not on the same car. It's all an art form for me. It's all passion and art form, and nobody can say that they have the same thing, and that's what it's all about for me. The front tires are Federals, like summer street tires. I got all four for $300. Brand new, they're $600. I got them used from a buddy up in Bethlehem, I believe. And yeah, they look killer, man. And then the rears are some cheapies. I don't know. They're like $75 each. So you take the tires, the wheels, flares, the audio, the steering wheel, the motor swap, and the car. I think I estimated on a piece of paper. That's like $14,400 for a 27-year-old car. Yeah, it's a lot of money. You want to take away the fact that I, traded my Altima for like the Ford $4,500. It was like a $10,000. Does it look like $10,000? Yeah, it looks like $10,000. Does it look like a little more? Yeah. Does it have valuable pieces on the car already? Yeah, like the headlights. I'd rather have the pop-up headlights and have like the sleepy eye look where they come up halfway. And they came with, the brand of the headlight is Raybrig, and I believe they were like $300 for both lamps. And then the housing itself, I saw for sale for like $350, $400. But that was for the fiberglass, and those are carbon fiber. And granted, they're not in great shape, but we're talking like $500, $600 in each headlamp. Which nowadays, that's the standard price. But for a 27-year-old car, you don't even see that. I mean, really, it's priceless. I'm just going to leave it on anyways because of the fact of how rare it is. So altogether, we're talking $15,000 in what you see in the pictures uploaded and stuff on YouTube, whatever. Basically, how it says right now is $15,000. Now, for the future plans, I want to... Well, let's talk about the right now. Right now, so this past Sunday was Cars and Coffee, and I ended up making it there. Last Wednesday, I wanted to take the car for an alignment. And I figured an alignment, get it, because I was messing with the suspension components and doing camber. You need to get an alignment afterwards. So I go to get an alignment, and here I found out that my inner tie rods need to be replaced. My steering rack has play, and it's leaking, so To get to that, you got to take the inner tie rods off. They need to get replaced. You shouldn't do one without the other. You're overlapping labor. If you just get the alignment, it still needs to be replaced. So once you replace it, you're going to get a lot of alignment. So yeah, I had to order the parts. I actually have the parts right here. See, and that's the thing too about like the MR2. You got the inner tie rods and the ball joints, and the parts came within 2 days. You don't have to wait around for it, and they're cheap. I got ball joints for the rear too. It's around $200. The steering rack though, that's the issue. The issue with the steering rack is you cannot buy a brand new one. You have to send it out to get rebuilt. So if I take it out, I plan on doing it myself. But if I plan on taking it out, the car is going to sit. I have to wait for it to get sent out, fixed, sent back to me, and put in. Then to put the other components back together. Then take it to get alignment. And I plan on going to a show at Ocean City, Maryland, in the middle of May. I don't want to be stuck without this car taking it down there. So I'm going to do that afterwards. Some needs and some wants. So another need. Well, let's talk about the hate real quick because it goes into one of the things that's going to happen, which is a want, which would be the molding of the flares to the body and the touch-up. The main hate this car gets is due to the fact that it's primarily not even done yet. When somebody, well, you paint the fenders, I see the rivets, or yeah, I know. It's not done, but it's not gonna, like, I don't want to have the car sit in a garage and me work on it all summer long or spring long because I don't have all the time in the world. You know, I do work. There's more to life than cars, even though it is my passion. I decided to put all my episodes of the car on YouTube. There's a lot more to me than just the car, and a lot of it, like if I were to mold, let's say for instance I mold the front fender with the flare. Right now it gives, like you see on the one video where the tire rubs on the front flare, but it flexes. So if I were to mold that mold would be brittle. I mean, I guess it would crack right there. So I have to really pinpoint the adjustment on the suspension first before molding it. And that's not done yet because I don't have coilovers, which is another want. Everything is going in motion. It's just more in baby steps, and a lot of people feel as though when they see something that it's completed, and they're really quick to just like take away something negative about it when they don't know the full story, and which is okay. I mean, it's natural. And in fact, I do some trolling too because I have a GTR badge on the front fender of the car for those specific people that want to point out the negative thing. You want to point out a 10-cent piece of plastic? Go right ahead because I'm having the last laugh. Anyways, that's gonna happen next spring. Another want would be an exhaust. I'm gonna overlap a picture of a photoshopped exhaust on an MR2 that I fell in love with. That exhaust is probably going to cost around $400 or $500 custom made. I don't know, probably a little more than that. There's like 2 different options you can get with exhaust for this car. One is the Burke exhaust, and I believe that's like $500. Another exhaust is like the cheaper Motoria, I believe it's called. I don't know, it's like a cheaper exhaust, and I kind of like that one better because you can see the canisters or the mufflers better from underneath, and I think it's like only a $200 and $250 exhaust. Exhaust isn't that expensive because like the motor's in the back, so you don't have to run a lot of piping. If I get that exhaust, the cheaper exhaust, I'm going to get an aftermarket diffuser from a Nissan 350Z. I've seen them on several different cars before. I believe the guys from MR2 Boys or Midnight Boys on YouTube have done it before, and I'm stealing their idea. It was a really good idea, and I'm going to use that for this car. Another reason too is because since the wheel is so big in the back, it does the aesthetic look of the rear. Doesn't look like there's much in the rear underneath, so that'll fill it out perfectly. Put down in the comments what you prefer, either the custom exhaust look or the cheaper exhaust with the cool diffuser underneath that. Then after that, it's probably just a pair of Brahms seats. Those seats, I think, are like $800 for the pair. The seats in these are not bad. I mean, I would obviously live with that. It'll probably be the last thing I ever put on in there, because it's just a seat, and seats they all do the same thing. The only thing is you can tell that those are 20-some years old because they're not as comfortable as brand new seats. So we're talking future plans, molding of the car, coilovers, exhaust, diffuser, and if I could somehow get a front lip, because again with the big wheels it does bring it up a little bit in the front and it would fill out right. The only thing is that they don't make a front lip for a wide body front bumper for an MR2, but I'm pretty sure we can make something work. Other than that, I think that's about it. I'm going to end this with one more thing. So I love the car red. It's going to be red next year when everything's molded together again. I say it over and over again. But until then, I'm going to be plasti dipping the car. Now, there's a lot of varying opinions about Plasti Dip, And for me, it works perfectly because I'm a DIY type of person. I like to do it myself, and it's an affordable route to go. It does show off a little bit of orange peel, but they have progressed in the Plasti Dip world, if you will. I've done it before, and I'll throw some pictures up of cars that I've done in the past. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do it in 3 different hyper shifts, and it's going to be based in matte black, and probably going to get a lot of hate. The purists are already at my neck because of me cutting up the car already. And that's another thing too, is like I never thought, I thought the purist thing was like a Porsche type deal. Yeah, personal messaging to me, some hateful stuff about what I did to my car, but fuck you. I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and there's a reason behind it too. It's not mainly because I want to like make it like a cool color or something like that. I actually traced out this car on my laptop and gave it to my son for him to color it in. And I gave him specific colors, told him what I wanted, and he did it. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna Plasti Dip this, and I'm not gonna tell him. So it'll be a really cool video I'm gonna do. It'll be explaining like how much dip I used, the measurements and all that stuff, and then like a remixed video of the whole process, and then showing my son for the first time, and hoping that he realized that he colored it in, because he did this whole. I'll throw the video in after this whole thing, but he did the whole coloring of it like at the end of March. I think it was like one of the snow days that we had, and then that's when I decided, I'll probably dip the car. But I don't know if I'm ready for that type of hate just yet. But it'll only be on the car for a year. If you don't know, Plasti Dip is like a spray-on vinyl, and you can remove it as long as you lay it on thick, and it will not stay on this car. This car deserves to be red. I guess that's where I'm going to leave it right now. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.
Break times like this. See my dreams unfold. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Gonna get it regardless. Draw it like I'm an artist.